Hey guys, my name is Avigat and in this video I'll be writing a Java program to accept a number and find the factorial of it using for loops. So before I start with the program, I'll just explain to you what a factorial is. So basically a factorial is the product of any integer and all the integers below it. So for example, I want to calculate 5 factorial. So 5 factorial will be nothing but 5 multiplied by 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which will give you 120. Another example, so 3 factorial will be 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6. So it's basically all the numbers up till 1, like the product of all the numbers up till 1. So yeah, it's as simple as that. So let's start with the program. So over here I've already written the basic structure of every Java program. I've started with import java.util.scanner because we'll be taking input in this program. Then I've also written class, then public static void main, followed by scanner s equals to new scanner, which is the line we need to gather input from the user. So the first thing I'll do is create my integer variables. So I'll say int, and the first variable I'll create is called num, and I'll be using this variable to gather input from the user. Then my second variable will be fact, and I'll be storing the factorial value of the number using this variable. So initially I'll give this variable a value of 1 because we saw in the examples that the factorial is calculated when you multiply all the numbers together. So I'll have to give factorial an initial value of 1 so that the multiplication is possible. Now after this I will write my print statement to ask the user for input. So I'll say system.out.println. Here I'll say enter a number. Okay, so now to store that number in this num variable, I'll say num is equal to sc.nextInt. NextInt is a method to get input in the form of an integer. Now after doing so, I will write my for loop. So to do that, I'll say for, and now the first part of the for loop is to initialize the variable. So I'll say int I is equal to 1, because in the examples we saw that whenever you calculate the factorial, you multiply the product of all the numbers up till 1. So I'll have to give I a value of 1. Then the second part is to determine till when the for loop will run till. So I want I to run until the value of I is the same as num. So I'll say I less than or equal to num, and lastly I'll say I plus plus because I want I's value to increment each time. Now I'll write curly braces, and within this I'll say fact is equal to fact multiplied by I. Okay, so I'll just explain this part with an example. So let's say the number inputted is 3. First this for loop will run, so I's value is initially 1, which is less than 3. So it'll go inside the for loop, it'll say fact is equal to fact multiplied by 1, which is 1, because fact over here we've given it a value of 1. Then the for loop will run again. This time I's value will increment, so I will become 2 over here, which is still less than 3. So I'll say fact is equal to 1 multiplied by 2, which is 2. So I's value will become 2, and here it's going to increase again. So it'll become 3, and then it'll become fact is equal to 2 multiplied by 3, which is 6. And here the for loop will end because I's value is 3, which is the same as the original num value, and the factorial's final value will become 6. And that's basically the for loop. Now I'll just display this factorial value. So I'll just say system.out.println, and here I'll say factorial is, and then plus fact, and let's check the output. Compile void main. Okay, so enter a number. First let me input 5. Here it shows that factorial is 120. Now let me input 3. Here it shows factorial is 6. So yeah, that is all for this video. If you want the code, it will be available on my website avigatgupta.com. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try my best to answer them as soon as possible. And if you learned something new, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and see you later. Bye.